Don't get coronavirus in your heart.
What's Dewey?
It's the base. LOSO__G.
Deacon, the engineer.
That boy.
Gotta go, the one, the only. Introduce yourself.
Matt.
Yo,
Cool.
his face didn't even move when he said that. His face was completely stationary. He's like,
Yo, that's how you gotta do it. You gotta hit him with that serious. I mean, we're starting it now. I got a game face.
how you doing, sir?
What you been up to,
I'm hanging
bro?
in there.
Where you stay at again? What area?
I'm in New Paltz. I'm up in New Paltz, New York. It's probably like an hour or 15 hour and a half north.
I'm gonna come pick you up.
How's the COVID situation looking up there?
I mean, up here it's not that bad. Like the one restaurant I work at is in a place called Pleasant Valley, and I think that they still haven't even had a single case. So I mean, it's definitely around. It's definitely a thing, but like it's not as worrisome as it is, I'm sure, in the city. Like everyone's stacked on top of each other there. Like it's gonna spread. Like I live in the woods. I'm not that worried.
Lucky you. What you been doing though to keep busy and shit like that?
Hunting.
No, I work. I work like crazy, man. I deliver bread, so like I'm incredibly essential. I was doing. It was like 20 days straight, and I also work at a restaurant, so like I was doing double some of those days. I mean, I've just been working like crazy, spending a lot of money on new instruments. I got a lot of new stuff for the instruments. Just really spending time trying to like focus on, and like one thing I think people should be doing more is like spending more time focusing on what is going to make them a better person when they're not here. Because like we're all in half-assed quarantine. You might as well spend that time to like grow and actually develop into a better person.
I definitely agree with that. That definitely resonates with me. People who have I guess the luxury to not have COVID or not be, I guess directly affected by it, use the time productively for sure. It's a good reset button, honestly. I mean, I guess we're fortunate, right? But for people as fortunate as us, it's a good reset button where we get like refocus, think about, shit to do, things that we've always been meaning to do, get started, man, for sure.
I'm gonna look like I went into the hyperbolic time chamber, son. Watch when end of September, bro. I'm gonna just pop. No one's gonna recognize me, man.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it.
You're like, Jose, when did you become swole? Oh my goodness.
I've always been swole. I'm just gonna start walking around like that, Super Saiyan mode all the time.
I say rocking.
He's like, I'm swole under all the fat, man. I just gotta cut the bacon off, and I'm good.
See, but the thing is, I think it's important to try and feel that way as often as you can, like that Super Saiyan feeling. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can do it, and you can do it now. Like I would love to work out more. Is something that you shouldn't say because you should just work out more. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't matter to me. Because it's just like that's not my jam. But for me, it's like musically, I sat there and I was stagnant because I was saying to learn more. I want to do more. I want to be better. And then like, just not doing anything to make that happen. Not a thing. So if you're out there and you're putting in that work, hell yeah. Show me a picture in September. I'll congratulate you.
I remember seeing that meme a while back that was like, if you don't come out of this like with a new skill or a business, you never lacked opportunity. You just lacked like motivation and shit like that. Some shit along those lines. It sounded way nicer and shit.
Did you see the other meme where it was like, damn, I ain't been doing shit the whole fucking
No, I didn't see that one. Nah, man, that was one of those things that I was worried about, but I was like, nah, man, like I'm trying to. There's specific things that I have in mind that I'm trying to accomplish, and like little by little, I've been chipping at it. I haven't been going through it as fast as I wanted to, but
you never will.
Whatever.
You never will. Like, and, I mean, that's unfair. I'm sure there are times where you're like gonna speed through
that's
goals
offensive
that you thought were gonna take a while, but like, I mean, like in general, at least myself, I don't know about we. I'm not gonna. Let me get away from we, but for myself, it's like I set these really high goals because I know, hey, you're capable of it. But I don't think, hey, do I have the time for it? Am I really going to be emotionally available for, the journey ahead, if you will? So like it's not always the case. So I always have to like sit back and be like, yeah, that took a while, but I got it done, and like still applaud the fact that it's done, even though it wasn't on the timeline that you planned. You know what I mean?
So you bought more and more instrument shit and stuff like that. Does that mean you're gonna make us? You're gonna make an intro for us for the bass, bro? A special intro from Matt.
I'm in. I'm actually, so I'm doing a couple different ones for my sister who's going to start like a parenting podcast, and I've sent her currently like 3 ideas, but I want to like get a bunch and just like kind of like flurry her with them and be like, what do you think sounds great? Because like if there are no expectations of me from other people, I have a hard time setting them myself. If people are like, hey, do this for me, I gotta do this because it's not for me.
Man, I need $1 million.
It's incorrect, but
I need $1 million by Tuesday. Do this for me.
He's making
it by Tuesday.
Do it for me.
All right, man.
Get it. Go on, get it done.
He's gonna fucking pull a heist and hold a bank hostage.
I was literally about to say, I'm like, you guys see me on the news, bro, and they gotta have the evidence.
I need to do it.
I did it because I just said okay.
Yeah, Fab's gonna get caught with a fucking Rico, bro. Like, he's gonna get locked up too.
Yo, but for real life though, if you're not doing, if you got a little spare time, think about us. We definitely would like an intro that won't get us fucking demonetized like some of the earlier videos. Are you doing anything
like more than 8 seconds or something?
Yeah, pretty much. And some of the other things, it's just like it literally like 15 seconds, and it's just like, nah, fuck you, the money's ours and shit. Like, fuck you. So I set them shits private. If we don't get it, no one gets it.
It's not like you're some local artist.
But are you doing anything like for yourself specifically?
Word.
Any personal projects?
Yeah, so I'm working on putting together a concert, like a living room concert sort of thing.
Like tiny desk?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I love that shit.
But I want to just do a half hour, kind of like show up, talk to people a little bit. Anytime that I share my feelings with people, it's usually comedically because I don't like being serious. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel right. And when I first picked the set list that I was going to do, it was all like country and blues and stuff. But it was like stuff like about like heartbreak and like, just like mental health and stuff like that. But and it was just a bunch of like, old white dudes.
Like Drake shit.
So I was like, all right, man, like how do I bring in something that means more to me and that I can still, like I can still have fun and make jokes, but I can also be like, hey, like it is important to check out these art.
So you cut out for a second.
Also a way to be like, go check him. Oh, sorry. I don't know where.
Oh, all good.
Yeah, everybody's green except for your ass. Your shit is red.
Okay, we're yellow. Okay, we're back. Okay, no, you're good. You're good.
Back in there. Yeah.
Wait, so what kind of music would you describe your shit as? Is your shit like Nirvana?
No.
Mixed with Drake?
That's like.
So like, wait, time out. Let's dial it back. Let's dial it back. What exactly do you play? What is your resume, credentials? How would you describe yourself as an artist?
All right. I play guitar and bass. That's the mainstays. For me, I listen to everything and I try to play as much as I can. I'm not as technically gifted as other people, so it's like, I'm not going to play Vivaldi on guitar, I've tried. I'm not that great, Like, so there's limitations to what I can play, but if it's possible, I'm going to do it. And I mean, like, when people say I listen to all styles of music, like, for a fact, Edwin, like, I mean all styles of music.
Yo, man, me too, bro.
Like, I'm going to throw on some jazz the same minute I'm going to throw on some death metal. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm going to put on classical and then we can listen to some Miley Cyrus because she got some bangers. You know what I mean?
Yo, Matt, I picked up the piano. I picked up piano
Yeah.
for COVID, and
For COVID? Nice. That's sweet. Keep going.
I picked up. You know I did. Fucking fuck you.
COVID hit him up and was like, "Yo, can you pick up this piano?"
Yo,
for me?"
bro, do this for me. So,
He just
COVID,
and then he just dropped it.
COVID-
Yo, I
okay,
need
yeah,
it by
so-
Tuesday.
COVID called me. It was like, yo, you gotta do piano, and I was like, COVID, you right. And he was like, yo, I promise you, I'll shut the world down. And I was like, get out of here, COVID. You shut the world down, I'll play piano. So he shut the world down. So I've been trying to practice piano, and it's like, as you just said, like you realize the wall you hit once you. I never immersed myself in music before, so once I realized how difficult it is, I was like, yeah, I give you the basics. I give you a Baby Shark, but I ain't
Yeah.
playing no Fior Elise. Like I'm not playing that shit. Fior Elise is difficult, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is, sit down for 5 months and it's not. You know what I mean? But that's
That's also true.
like that's the trade-off, you know? And that's something that like we all have to understand is that like we're constantly doing that. So for me it's like I need that trade-off to be music. I want to be able to play Fear Release, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to hit that second movement of Moonlight Sonata. Not even the third one where it's frantic and he loses his absolute mind. Just the second one. It's like that like it's really bouncy and happy.
The calm part, yeah.
And it's like I can't even
Yeah.
do that because it's like I don't know piano, and if I try to put it on guitar, I'm gonna sound like a dummy, you know, because I'm not Andre Segovia. You know?
The beginning of it is easy because I read up on it, and the beginning of it, he wrote it for the girl he fell in love with. He
Yeah,
wrote it for the girl he fell in love with in the beginning of it, and then after he found out she cheated, that's when he was like, "Yeah, learn this shit, bitch. Fuck you. I'm just gonna start wilding." Like he just started fucking wilding, bro.
but he did. Did.
Because he found out that she was married to a prince or some shit like that, and then he just started bugging.
That's
Because
wild.
most art is based off a woman somehow, or war. Well, war is from women. But anyway,
Suffering.
so yeah, from suffering. So it's the first. I can do the I can do that easily, but then when it becomes the frantic part, when he finds out she cheated, like you can see the change. When he's
Oh,
like,
dude, that is one of my favorite
Bug
songs
out.
of all time because
Yeah,
it
it's
literally
crazy.
is just that frantic, and like the whole time you're running around in your head, just like, dude, are you all right? Like,
right, like
I could call someone for you.
You can feel the sadness in it. So I started with Fur Elise as the first piece to learn, not knowing notes, not knowing anything because I know nothing about pianos. And as I'm learning other pieces, I'm realizing how fucking easy everybody else's pieces are in comparison to the Chopin, the Beethoven.
Oh yeah.
It's they had to have been on another mind, like in your mind. So I know they were bored because they didn't have phones back then. They also didn't have iPhones.
Yeah, but they also didn't have the technology that we do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we have stuff that can write for us.
They don't have Fruity Loops.
They have auto tune.
Yo, if they did, they'd be buying someone a drink. I'm telling you. Yo, I can't believe T.I. is as good of T.I. What am I saying? T-Pain
T-Pain.
is as good of a singer as he is. Because it's like, when he did that Tiny Desk and he came out and he was just like, I'm gonna buy you a drink. I was like, yo, like Smooth Lounge Singer just showed up. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, he's a full artist, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, like all of those hits, I still listen to. You know what I mean?
Jose, I've been listening to El Beeper. Fucking love that song.
MVP.
El Beeper. What is it? Maria Alfuete?
I don't fucking know, son.
Maria
Dude,
Alfuete?
they have some of their songs are ridiculous. There's one song that's like "Sácame el huevo," which is like just take my dick out. That's literally it. It's literally the name of the song is "Sácame el huevo." And then there's another song where they're talking about el moñoñón, and I think that has to do with the dirty vagina. But my man, it's the songs are fucking hilarious, son. It's just like how they get away with just rude ass shit. Or
You know
I
what's
think my
fun to
favorite
say?
one is the Reebok or Nike, or is it song Reebok or song Nike? And it's the rhythm of the night. Somebody asked for that shit, and then they were like, some Reebok or some Nike, and somebody just took that clip and just fucking made a fucking song. That shit.
That's like the COVID song. The COVID song is jokes too.
Oh my God, yo.
God, that shit was crazy.
Yo, so that's what sucks is I feel like I'm missing out on all of that. You know, like today is the first day I've used as a day off in like almost a month. You know what I mean? Like
From
even
delivering.
on the prior days off I had like to work on my car and shit. You know, and it's like now I'm just sitting down, I'm just drinking, I'm relaxing, I'm just chilling. And I haven't had that in so long. Like I feel like I'm missing out on all the memes, all the videos, like anything that's been released. Like people I think my sister told me there's like a movie
protest,
that
right?
just no, there's like a movie that just got released for free. What's that dude's name? The guy that played Creed.
Apollo.
Yeah, it's like
Michael B. Jordan.
it's like Justice for something, right?
Oh,
Like,
Just
like,
Mercy, bro.
Yeah,
Fuck that movie.
He's in Justice.
I mean,
That movie's really good. I cried.
But
That
she's
movie
like,
made me
"Yo, you
cry.
gotta see this," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, great, I can." And like, I sat down today, and I'm like, "I'm not doing anything, like nothing. I didn't
That
catch
movie
up
made me
on
cry,
nothing.
bro.
I just sat. It was great."
That's what you gotta do.
And here you
But-
are with us, the base.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, this is great. Like, it's not only awesome to like hear from people that I care about, but it's even though you're not here, I got headphones on my head, you know? So like for me,
So it
it's kind of
sounds
like
like
you
it.
are, because like I'm already isolating myself from my environment, you know what I mean?
Matt,
So
Matt, we're always here in your heart.
that's duh.
El Bibe.
Yo, who sings that shit? I'm gonna check that out.
I don't fucking know.
YouTube
Just
it.
type El Bipe.
YouTube and
El Bipe.
What about the porque tú no tapa mi?
I mean,
Solo porque tú no tapa. Oh, that ridiculousness music.
Yo, you ever seen Le Tongue? It's so it's this dude. He does covers of like popular songs, but in a close to Mexican English language. It's like a mixture of both. And so it'll be like all the other kids gita pamparaki. And it's just like it's close, but it's not there. You know, but the whole time you're dying of laughter because it's just this like short fat Mexican dude like really getting into it. Some good stuff. You should check him out. It's spelled like Le Tongue, but
Let
dude's
them-
hilarious.
it's probably just DK singing.
Matt, how have you been dealing with like all that's going on, from the protests to the death of George Floyd to the death of Ahmaud from the, you know what I'm saying? Like, how have you been?
I got there's two
He
protests.
said Ahmad, you know what I'm saying? What's his name? You know Ahmad, right? You know him.
You know that kid? You just run around, just run around.
Yeah, that other dude.
The guy that was running.
Let's not forget Breonna Taylor. Let's be real, boys. The thing is, I haven't had time to really do much, which sucks. And I've been really afraid of going to a protest, even though I got like 2 lined up for next week. But I'm I'm worried because of my energy. You know what I mean? Like I get upset really easily, and it's something that I really care about. So like for me, I feel like with people known to be out there purposefully antagonizing, I'm worried I'm the wrong person to be in that environment. And it's something I'm gonna do anyway. Like, like fuck that, it's something I care about. But it's something that I'm worried about doing because it's like, what if I go out there and make things worse? That's not the goal. That's not my game plan. But, I'm trying to figure out how to kind of keep myself in check and make sure that my mind's on something else while being there. I was thinking about maybe filling up a backpack with medical supplies, and it's if anything happens, at least my first instinct isn't going to be fuck this shit. Let me, let me do something when it's not even my place. It's got to be who can I help? So I'm just trying to figure out how I an adult approach going to the protests rather than just someone who's angry.
Yo, so wait, so how are the protests going in your area? Because I can't imagine. I mean, you said that you live in Carajo land and shit like that. So and I can us picturing protests around here. I was walking around earlier and I saw them 2 blocks away, all getting getting together. But what does the protests over there look like?
So a lot of the protests around here have been small because it hasn't been larger communities, but Poughkeepsie, which is not only one of the larger Black communities in the area, but just one of the bigger in general, they had a protest, and it was like pretty big. There was like thousands of people, it was like going through the streets, but they also had, like coming home, getting over the bridge was really difficult. They had to like reroute everything. There was like what looked like SWAT like everywhere. And it's gotta be unsettling for people. And I'm worried what it's doing to see that more consistently, to see that sort of presence, to be uncomfortable because you're like I was just driving home from work. I wasn't even a part of anything, but there's dudes with guns like looking at me, and I'm like, I'm just driving home, bro, And I know that the people in that area are real racists. Like, I know that because I get pulled over all the time just for my hair. I know it's down right now, but like we all know I got a lot of hair, and like I get pulled over all the time. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, your plate lamps are out. And I'll literally get out of the car and be like, let's go check them together. Let's go. I'm like, we're going to do this. And then I go to the back and I'm like, my plate lamps are fine. I'm going to go now. Have a good evening. It got to the point where I told the guy, I was like, if anyone pulls me over again, I will be recording. Like, I guarantee you, I will be recording and I will get you and there will be trouble. I was like, stop pulling me over for bullshit. If I do something, that's cool. And they'll follow me for like 10 minutes and shit. Like I had a gun pulled on my face in Poughkeepsie. And it's like, for what? It's tough out there, but it's not something that's not able to be dealt with. You don't need violence to do this shit, and it's just so worrisome to see people scared literally just because people tan better than they do. You know what I mean? Like there's no real difference. It's not like Black people's got a superpower that we don't, and it's like now there's a reason to be upset. You know what I mean? Like if I left the house every day knowing that like my Black friend could run 2 times faster than me, and like if he like punched the wall, probably, but like he like punches a wall and the whole house comes down. You know what I mean? Like that's something that I can understand being angry at, because it's like I don't have that, but you have exactly what that person has. They're just darker. So like,
I don't know, Matt. I don't know if you have the same natural affinity towards chicken consumption in basketball.
Tell me I don't. Tell me I don't, though.
No, he actually does.
I remember watching some YouTube videos where some white woman was like that that she thought Black people couldn't get skin burned or skin cancer because she thought it was like their ability that they couldn't get that shit. I was just like, what?
That's
it just makes it shinier.
Bro, that's something I've heard. Like, people believe because you have melanin in your skin, you can't get skin cancer. I'm like, bro, like you live in any climate where there's like constant sun, like skin cancer is going to be super high. You're not immune to that shit.
Yo, so you're telling me that the sun isn't afro sheen for the skin?
No.
I thought that shit was just bloop, get a little nicer. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, bro, it's nuts.
Has there been any looting happening in your neck of the woods?
No, I mean they boarded up Poughkeepsie when they went through that area, like the main street where people were going to be walking. But I mean everything stayed really peaceful because like I don't think anyone really is that polarized up here. Like there are a lot of racist people that live up here, but it's. In major city areas, it's so much different because you got to think about it. It's been like bred generation after generation of like living next to poor areas and watching crime and being like, oh, well, now I got to run away. And then they run up here and then they're like, oh, well, those people that were in the area where crime happened came up here. Like I came to get away from that. And it's like, you're so like the people that think like that are like, they're ignorant and they don't understand why, because they think that they're doing like that they're not wrong, And to me, that's crazy. Like to actually think you're not wrong, to not be willing to admit it is something different, but to not think that you're wrong when it's so evident is just like like how far does the human imagination go? You know what I mean?
I feel like most people have a problem like admitting that they're wrong in any type of capacity. Like especially about something like that.
Yeah.
You get me? Like it's a little annoying just because I see it at work specifically. That's where I'm thinking. But relatives and some friends and stuff like that. Not my close friends because y'all could take jokes and shit like that. But just the whole thing where it's just like, no, I can't be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I have to kind of find a way to make it so that I'm like a little right, so that I'm not 100% wrong. It's a little annoying, man. I thought adults were supposed to be better, but I'm still waiting.
It's like I don't know, or like 3 words that would like make a lot of conversations way more sensible, but like I don't know. Like just now. But people just don't like being wrong. I think it's just like innate, it's just one of those things. Like you have to work, just like we were talking about last episode. It's like critical thinking requires work, like we don't just naturally come to logical conclusions. Like we have to, it takes energy, right? So, not everyone's willing to expend the energy.
I don't think everyone should.
Even in your sleep.
Like
So even in your sleep.
we should have like all people feeling all different types of way and just have better communities about it. Like think about Reddit, right? Reddit has a subreddit for everything. And if you feel that way, you can go on there and you can read about it and you can, figure out more and do whatever you want. Life should have the same option. It's New York, but you know where you're living and what kind of people live there because it's specifically crafted communities. Like I know my neighbor. I want to live next to my neighbor because I know my neighbor. I'm comfortable with that. Like, I don't know how many people, especially in New York City, with those high like apartments, how many people know 2E? You know what I mean? You're living in 5F. How many people know apartment 2E? Nobody. Why would you? But that's crazy. You build a strong community, you back out of all that. You don't have to worry about a lot of that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I think people in cities tend to build like tribes based on interest or based on occupation and tend to sort of discount the people who are immediately around them. Like I can even see it in my own life. Like the people that I mainly associate with are people that I've known from school, people I've met out here, here and there, family, people I met doing, martial arts hobbies, things like that. And that's like the base of whom I know. Like I still try to talk to neighbors. Like we have a good relationship with our neighbor and stuff like that. But, it's hard. It's hard for people. It's like people have to make an effort, and it happens here and there. But the vast majority of people, particularly in the city, like everyone is doing their own thing. Everyone has a chip on their shoulder. So, it's making connections to someone who's like right next to you it seems simple, but for a lot of people, it's just like a huge hurdle.
You made the connection with our neighbor though, because his sound system was way too fucking loud and you couldn't sleep.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
It was like he went to bitch at him, and then he was like, "Okay, we're friends now."
No, it wasn't. Well, that's not the flow of events. We were already cool prior, but then he got a sound system, and then it was really fucking me up. So I literally got up at like close to midnight and rang the doorbell until someone answered because it was that bad. It felt like literally someone had like a subwoofer directly on my fucking thing.
Yo, you sleep like a little baby angel. I don't even want to hear about it. It was not that loud.
It was
Probably
bad.
wasn't even that loud.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
Right.
no,
It
it wasn't.
whisper, and you're like,
It wasn't even the volume though. Like my room was shaking. Like I could look at something on my desk and it'd be shaking, and I could tell exactly what he was playing. Like I was like, oh, he must be playing Battlefield. He was playing Battlefield. Like I could hear exactly what was happening. And it turns out it was actually not even across. It was on the first floor. So like the subwoofer would reverberate. So he actually ended up moving it, and
yo, some people would pay extra for that. You go to that hotel, you gotta put a couple of quarters in there, shakes the bed for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Pay extra for that, and you're out here yelling at people for it.
And now his KD is bad.
Yeah, bro.
His KD is bad now because of you.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you pop in when I'm playing and I die, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Something's getting thrown at you. I don't know what. Something.
All right, that's cool. As long as you turn it down, that's perfectly okay. I'll just weave, So
Stupid.
we.
What? What is that?
You'd have to be there. I'll send you.
We.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm loving the hair, bro.
Edwin's?
Nah, you Fab. What up?
Oh yeah, my you never seen me like this, huh?
Oh man,
Nah, you always had nice and tight.
looking real tribal right now.
It's that COVID. Fuck my haircut game up, bro. So now I got a full mini fro. I didn't pick it out. If I pick it out, I look like a 1972 Black Panther leader.
Nothing wrong with that. When I part my hair like over here, and I look like Frederick Douglass. Like right away. I like just got out of the shower. That's the only reason my hair is down. Like within an hour, it's gonna be big. And like I always love parting it there because it literally I just look like I'm ready to take out an expensive bank loan.
Nah, this hair shit is crazy. This COVID shit is crazy too. Did you lose anybody to COVID?
No. Like I know one person that was very not a part of like my circle that got it, like well far out. But like that's it. I only know of one person.
And they bounced back.
I don't know. I honestly didn't check to be fair. Like I heard that she got it and I was like, well, all right.
Nah, this COVID shit.
I guess the Lord's taking care of it.
The COVID shit shook New York. The protests shook New York up. The curfew.
This is
like an episode of
like why, man? Like
Well,
it should
New
be
York
both things should be so easy to do. You know what I mean?
But
like,
New York is the city of I don't give a fuck. You know that. New York doesn't
I mean that's for real. I miss that so much.
And because they don't give a fuck, people who do care are affected. But it's more people that don't give a fuck than people that do. So it hits, man. It hits hard, and people got to deal with the fact that the people who don't give a fuck impact more than the people who do. So
I think it's scary, but it's hard for me to relate with going out and wearing a mask and staying 6 feet apart. Like I'll keep my distance. Like I could do that, but I like breathing. Right. I like things on my face. For me, like it's actually like very anxious to have something on my face. Like I just don't like it. So like to have that there and not be able to breathe properly because I got asthma, and then like like everything else, it's an experience that makes me so much more uncomfortable. And to be out 7 days a week during this and have to have it on all the time, I'm like I'm done with it, man. Like at this point, it's like, yo, let me get COVID. I'm a young, strong man. I'll get over it.
See, Matt, that was very American. Fuck, that's how we know you're not Chinese. Fuck this mask shit. Fuck getting over COVID.
Fuck the people's food you deliver.
We need
no.
So
like to me,
with some more freedom.
I would never get it. Like I keep my distance from people, but the mask. If you're keeping a distance, right? And the distance is supposedly going to keep you safe. Why the mask as well? You know what I mean? The mask should be like it's because people aren't keeping proper distance because they're going into crowded places. When I deliver, I go to places that are closed, or I'm just running in and out. And for me, it's like I'm not going near nobody. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but like let's say if you have COVID and you're asymptomatic and you sneeze, like your breath or whatever will go way past the 6 feet mark, right? That's why you have it. Like the mask isn't really to protect you; it's to protect other people.
If you cough and shit.
Yeah, like
yo, why are you trying to tell me I gotta wear a mask?
we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck if you get it. We give a fuck if fucking.
You start giving that shit out.
No, but for real though, like I really do have to police myself more than I ever have. Like I'm irresponsible as a person, like in general. I would never wear one in my life, you know? Like, you couldn't catch me with a mask on. But now it's like, I do wear it, you know? Like, I have 2 in a plastic bag, like, ready to go, sealed off in the truck, waiting for me every night. And, like, you know, I pop them on and I wear them. And, like, I wear my gloves because it's like, I deliver to 50, 60 places, let's say, you know? Think of how many thousands of people come in and out of those places. So it's like, I really do have to care a lot more than most people. And that's what I was saying. It's like, it just sucks, you know, like to drive around and be like, I'm not breathing properly, you know?
You should get a 6 foot.
Like, it's just angering, you know? It's like, I go home and I'm like ticked off, like, damn, man, you know, like I really wish my night was different and I could just run around like I used to, but now I gotta like open a door and like look who's around and be like, shit, man, can I like maneuver around everybody? You know?
Imagine
like,
how women feel.
No, I don't doubt it.
When they wear bras.
What?
Nah.
On their face, like
Yeah.
you should get a 6 foot stick, the little things that people use in the bodegas to get the toilet paper at the top,
Oh
and
my
just
God.
go like that, and just pass it off like that.
No, it's
Mhm.
funny. It's
I
funny
like to just plank.
Now it's funny that Lo said that because there are people that like to interject in the conversations. Like you'll be having a conversation about some bad shit. Well, imagine how such and such feels. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like no one's talking about that. Like what? Like how did the fucking whoever? And it's like crazy. And it's usually some sort of group that's like has nothing to do with anything. Like what about the starving kids in Africa? Well, bro. Like we're in North America. I don't know what to like. You know what I'm saying? There's always some.
I always ask people what they're doing. That's what you gotta do. You just flip it around. What about starving kids in Africa? I don't know. You donated lately. You know, you sending food over there. I see you're eating a Lunchable. Did you send a Lunchable to a poor child in Africa?
A Lunchable.
Speaking of donations, did you see that shit? Supposedly, change.org was doing some petition shit, and then immediately after asking for donations, but the donations weren't going towards Black Lives Matters or protest stuff. They were pocketing a lot of that money, and because change.org is like it's actually like a private company. It's not like a or a private.
How does that
thing.
work though? Do you know? Like, because I've signed a couple of those, and I actually signed up the other day because I was like, oh, this must be important. Like, let me try and like I've been trying to do pretty much whatever I can, but like it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Like it's saying like millions of people are signing, but what are they signing? Is it actually going anywhere? Like, do you know anything about this?
I don't, but this is kind of like one of the things with just like nonprofits or charities in general, because hey, Trump has a charity and things like that. But because I'm also thinking, I guess, of the best way I can contribute, and I know money wise is what I'm thinking, just because like I'm fortunate to have a good job, and I'm too pussy to go outside during COVID and protest like that. But I'm trying to be a little bit more careful about where I put my money because I don't want some shit like that to happen. Like, people always try to scheme with the whole operating costs. And I know how much it costs to run a website. And it's not that much if you just have fucking people click and shit. But honestly, I don't 100% know the route I'm going. Is that I'm just going to try to be very, very specific, very intentional, and like look into exactly how the money is spent. Because, hey, it's my fucking hard-earned cash, man. I don't want to give it to somebody so that they could pocket my fucking work.
Well, that worries me too. Like there's George Floyd Memorial Fund or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, or even the bails, right? The people like helping like bail people out of jail, right? You don't know what the actual number that they need for the bail is. You know what I mean? So if I'm donating and continuously like doing it, after you hit your goal and that money could be going somewhere else, it's like this shouldn't be happening at all. But like the fact that it is so upsetting for someone like me that has like anxious OCD brain that it's like I want to figure out every aspect of it, and it's like it's so hard to understand who and what I should actually do and give to, and that's going to make a change, and change.org to me is like, as I said, it's something I did, but it didn't feel right. You know what I mean? It's like, it didn't feel like, oh, I'm making a change. It felt like I clicked a button.
Yeah, and I think that's also like I think also just taking advantage of like really, I guess, so social media platforms and how people have a habit of never looking past like the title for anything. Like I could imagine, man, I would guess upwards of like 98% of people don't read any of the things that they fucking share.
Nope.
They just fucking share it and they just,
Share it.
and I know I was guilty of it too at the beginning. Then I stopped myself. I was like, no, I'm not going to be like these fucking idiots that just share shit and then look stupid after because I'm not, I'm here spreading misinformation without me double checking shit. So like I try to be a lot more cautious about it. Even when I share shits like on our group chats, if I don't take the time to like check sources, I'll be like, yo, I didn't check the sources. Like just straight up like that. Cause I mean, in general, we have to be like that. Like there's so much information out there. And I mean, I feel like, that's kind of like the point. There's so much information out there that supports every side that it's like, what really can you trust? And the thing is that like, what ends up happening is that like one person, somebody will find one thing and then everybody else will write an article off of that one thing. So it's just like, it's just bad information building up off of bad information. And unfortunately, what's fact is really not necessarily what's true, but what most people believe is like true.
There was this Twitter posted a Black Lives Matter post with this girl as a picture like, oh, my cousin's in the hospital, she's dying, blah blah blah. And then like this girl from UK was like, hey guys, that's me. I'm not dying. Me and my family are safe. This foundation has nothing to do with me.
That's what I was saying. Catfishing for money.
That is that's scary, bro.
Bro, con artists are everywhere.
Yo, bro, people are in a, and the thing is like, I know con artists don't have no heart, but damn, my nigga, niggas is like fighting, and you're trying to catch a quick come up of about 5.
Oh,
Quick come up. They're probably seasoned. Those people are chilling in Monaco right now, just using your money. Like,
yo, remember that scheme where you had to get your friends to pay $100? What was it? And then you make the
pyramid scheme. It's remember. I was like, you said remember like it's gone.
Like
no, but
pyramid scheming, bro.
But recently, like that, right after when COVID was happening in the US, like people started doing this fucking chain bullshit where it was
it wasn't a pyramid scheme because it was shaped like a hexagon. Fucking idiots, bro.
Yeah, it's like they actually make it stupid on purpose. It's like you want to filter out any critical thinkers immediately. That's why whenever you receive an email, it always has typos. That shit is on purpose. Like the dumb schemes are on purpose because they want to filter out anyone who will just automatically filter out and be like, oh yeah, this is stupid, or try to find out more information. It's the people that are gullible. That's what they want to get it. So when they make something like that, they make it as fucking dumb, as lowbrow as possible. So only the dumbest people will buy into it.
Shit is crazy. It was like
we should be scam artists. That's what I'm trying to say, honestly.
We should be scam artists?
That's the main idea.
No, for real, we really should. I
just come up with the dumbest shit. Like the more money we make, it has to be dumb.
We should do it. The chocolate diet. Look at how the chocolate burns the fat, and we put that shit in the pan.
It burns the fat because when you just consume just fat, that's the only thing to burn. So you're burning fat, like something stupid like that.
What about water buffalo sweat?
I don't feel good fucking
water buffalo sweat.
I don't feel good fucking people over like that, man. I be wanting to scam because I be looking at it and I be looking at the people that get caught with it, and I'm like, bro, you guys are fucking idiots.
Yo, that's why I stopped selling cars, man. Like every single one that goes out, you're fucking somebody over somehow. You know what I mean? And it's like,
damn, I just bought a car.
Bro, I got fucked.
And it was Matt.
Nah, but like, it weighed on me. But to see people every day come in and just be like, whatever, man. It's just money. It's just money. That shit scares me. That is not only an idea; it's like a way of life. That's just money.
Yeah, to live, to fuck people over is the way you live. To fuck your,
yeah, bro.
And then people fucking their family over. What is it called? There was a couple of scams. You have You Should Be Here Now. That's the one with the vacation scam. I've been invited to meetings like that.
The fucking World Ventures.
World Ventures. Wake Up Now.
You should be here now.
Wake Up Now, another scam. Forex, another scam. It's like, yo, they just they come back to back, and they be like, yo, you want to come to this meeting?
America.
You want to come to this meeting and like talk to me about like saving money, and then you get there and they're like, oh, if
You want to be your own boss?
Yeah, you want to be your own boss.
Marketing. That's funny.
If you give me 150 and you put 4 other people, it could be your mom, it could be your
oh my god,
they give 150 because they're supporting you. You got to get them to get 150. You're going to get a Mercedes. And it's like, bro, what? I was sitting in there like, nigga, I'm offended because you think a Mercedes is all I need to sell out my fucking family. I'm highly offended. These people are going to come back to me like, yo, I never got my money. And I'm going to have to look at them in their face like, well, my Mercedes is nice. Like, what are we saying to these people?
You'll never, trust me, you won't even make it that far. You won't get that Mercedes. You're not even going to make it that far.
I'm not that,
like,
it's such an evil, and I've lost friends because of it, because I've come into the meetings as a radical one. You know me, just speaking loud, like, yeah, so what happens if we don't do it? Quiet. Niggas is not saying nothing, and it's like, yo, you trying to fuck people over. Like,
yeah, man.
You're okay with making your mom agree to this if you're going to fuck your mom over, bro?
I mean,
I'm okay with that shit.
Here, so that's the thought process of someone who's like
got a soul.
I mean, I don't mean to frame it like that, but it's like a lot of people are desperate when they go to these multi-level marketing like Amway, shit like that. Like a lot of people are desperate and they don't know money, Herbalife, shit like that. And the thing is like they're drawn in by the people who have made money because you can make money off of it, but the people who make money off of it are generally on the ground floor, right? That's why it's a pyramid scheme. It's the people who started off are the ones who make money and everyone else is chasing the dragon, right? So like, I really feel bad for people who really think like there's a certain type of person that's like susceptible to it too. Because I've been invited to a bunch of these shits. And it's always the person who's motivated but not that bright and thinks that they found like
a way,
like a way out. So like they're somewhat conscientious, but they're not that informed, and they just buy the dream. So they're a lot of times they're not even realizing they're selling bullshit. And usually what happens is like they follow the bullshit for a while and then they disappear and they just don't talk about it. You'll see them one day and then they just won't say anything. And in the back of your head is like, yo, what the fuck, bro? Like, what happened to all those organic greens, bro? Like, what happened? Right. Like I thought you was juicing every day and selling juice.
Can I still get those gains?
Yeah, word, right? Like what the fuck happened? Yo, here's I was so insulted. This is the worst of it. Holy
I get mad insulted. That's the thing that pisses me off before you go. It's like, yo, you think I'm that fucking stupid?
Yo, holy shit,
you, son.
This is the worst. This is the worst one. And someone we know brought me into this shit, right?
Was it in college?
Yeah, it was definitely in college.
I know who you're talking about.
Right. And they're a smart person too. They found out, like we left the meeting like, wow, this is bullshit.
It was me.
But,
he's like, I did that shit.
That's some shit I'll do.
Fuck. It was Market America, right? It was Market America. So they framed it like, oh yeah, my friends are doing this business thing. I just want you to come through, see it. Da da da. I'm like, all right, cool. So I already had it in the back of my head that this was some Amway type bullshit. But like I was in college and I really didn't have anything better to do at the time.
You did not study?
Bro, I didn't study in college anyway. Let's see. So we go there, right? So people are dressed up in suits. There's like this one older person there and there's a whole bunch of college kids. I'm like, oh my God, I already know what's going to happen. So they bring out this projector, right? So they're showing us, they're not even telling us what it is yet. They're just showing people with money. They're showing people in an auditorium clapping, like on some North Korea shit. Like someone would say something, they're clapping, right? And then they're like, oh yeah, this is Market America. We sell this, that, and the third. You could buy products. You could be a seller. And it could end there. But if you really want to make money, you can recruit your friends, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, this is some bullshit. So they start, this is where it gets bad. They do like a product demo. And they start doing product demos. And this is when it gets bad because they had like some fucking supplement, right? And then they had like these weird little contraptions. And then they're like, oh yeah, if this lights up, this is the real product. If this doesn't light up, this is the fake product. So they like pour the powder in the water. They mix it for like this no-name brand. It doesn't light up. They do it for the other one. It lights up. Oh, it's real. Everyone claps. I'm like, oh my God, bro, this is so insulting. And then they were extra pushy. As soon as we were done, right? They're like, oh yeah, you know, glad.
Hey, Gladys. Hey, where you going?
Yeah, no, yeah. They're like, glad. Oh yeah, glad you like the thing, right? Assuming that I liked it. They even asked me if I liked it. They're like, yo, we're happy you liked it. I didn't even say I liked it. I was just like, yeah, okay, cool. So they
It's called
start.
Inception. Have you not seen the movie? It's called
Word.
Inception.
Did. That was a very good movie. So they start handing us these sheets, and these sheets have like name, social security number, address, like mad fucking personal information to get signed up. He's like, okay, so now you guys can get signed up. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are these people assuming that I'm signing up? And then I see a bunch of people that are like, I guess too, like they're just pressured into signing. Like they just don't want to be uncomfortable. So they're signing shit. And I'm just like, holy fuck, man. Like that's crazy.
I stayed.
Yo, my fault. Can I say something? Because I think it's the same person that tried to bring me into.
We don't have to, yeah.
And because I remember bringing this up, and I was like, "Bro, this shit is a pyramid scheme, just flat out." And they were like, "I know, but we could be the first ones."
I'm telling you right now, I am so glad nobody's ever insulted my intelligence in that manner because I would probably be like, yo, I'm about to destroy you verbally real quick and then walk away. Like,
Deacon, no one's gone to this guy. No. Yo, this guy has probably been suckered into it and he's not trying to admit it.
Here's the thing, right? and here's the sad part. If you tell them about themselves, if you just go through it slowly and rationally, like, wow.
They don't see it. They don't see it.
So, yeah, exactly. Because of X, Y, and Z reasons, they double down. They fucking double down because they had this narrative where it's like, even in the like the presentations, they're like, oh yeah, if you don't want to make money, you don't have to do this part. Like you don't have to recruit if you don't want to make money. So they just automatically paint anyone who's not down as people who just aren't about money and who are ignorant.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's it's cult shit. It's some cult bullshit.
The meeting I went to, I ended up staying longer than usual, and they got a call from like the upper management or whatever, and they were like, oh, how did it go? And he was like, yeah, we got a couple sales. And they were like, a couple is not good enough. You must understand that you never let a customer leave. If you got them there, they're already bought. And they can't leave until they sign that paper saying they're going to agree with it. And like the guy that they were under, so they were on the bottom level.
Mm-hmm.
You have to bring somebody 2 levels above you to come and like close more deals if you can't close the deals. And he was like, yo, I got a Benz outside right now. Look at the keys. I got the keys right here. And he put the keys on the table. Like he was trying to make the car sell for what it is. And I'm like, bro, you're in sweats and a t-shirt, bro. Like even if like one, I don't give a fuck about cars, but you're not even dressed to the occasion. So
wait. He was in sweatshirt. He was in sweatpants and a t-shirt.
And a t-shirt.
Yo, so what'd the outline look like? What'd that outline look like?
What is what?
What'd that outline look like? You know, in the sweats. You know what I mean?
They weren't gray. You couldn't tell.
It was blue sweats. It was blue sweats.
Damn,
and it was just like, bro, like you're trying to force this idea of like the car is everything because all he got was a car. From what they explained in the thing,
he's homeless, but he has a fucking Benz.
But he's paying the taxes on it, bro.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's like you didn't
win anything. You didn't win anything. And
crazy,
it was just
bro.
like they were in their motto is nobody can say no. That's what their motto was. Real rapey.
Their motto is rape?
Yeah. Nobody can say no to them. If they say no, they're just saying maybe. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? And the only reason why I got inside is because I was there late and I was like, yeah, let me drink up your alcohol since you want to make me stay here and do
great idea. Drink up their alcohol when you fall asleep.
That was my plan.
Too. Why don't you
that was my game. Huh? Their game was to get me to buy. My game was to drink your alcohol and then say, you know what, guys? The
Wait,
more
but
I think
legit, you
about
show
it,
up and they give you free alcohol though?
they had hors d'oeuvres and free alcohol. It was trash.
Oh, he went to the nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen,
The ones I've
I
been to, they didn't
own
make
a
enough
suit.
money.
They didn't.
I own a
That's
suit.
smart,
Let's
bro.
go.
That's smart. Have alcohol, and then you already have these already possibly dumb, gullible people fucked up, so they're even more suggestible. That's devious, bro.
But
Let's
now-
not
but-
give people tips.
Is that actually
I
legal?
drink too much.
Is that legal though? Can you do that? Like, can you do a deal
Yeah.
while someone's inebriated? Like
If
a
they
like a
come to your
binding
household,
deal?
you could do whatever you. Oh wait, that sounds so bad.
Sounds like someone's been on a different area of Pornhub lately.
Multi-level
MLM.
It's all
narcissist.
that home invasion bullshit.
I don't know if that's legal though.
I don't think it is. I don't know because I've.
It's
never
only
heard
legal
about
if you don't get caught.
it. Everything's legal if you don't get caught.
Pretty much.
It's financial harassment. It's
Did you just look this up?
Financial harassment. Nah, I'm making it up as I go.
Financial.
You said financial harassment. What the fuck?
Yo, have you guys ever heard of financial doms?
Yes.
Bro,
We actually
you should
had.
It's like the best thing in the world, bro.
Matt,
We had a
literally
guest.
had one on the podcast. We literally had one.
Yeah.
Yo, tell them I need a TV. Say what up.
Nah. They're the ones dominating.
I
They're,
know. That's what I'm saying. They could probably get some credit card numbers. They probably know some shit.
You could
Get
be a
me a
male
TV.
dom.
What's
you could Be a
up?
male dom, man.
I actually a friend of mine's brother just like continuously gets nice stuff because
Oh,
he
I thought you
does
was about
that.
to say you're gonna do it.
No, I mean like for me, I would do porn, but I wouldn't do something like that because to me, you know, being on video doing something that you would do off video is totally cool. But I wouldn't do like financial domination on or off video because it would just make me feel weird. Like that's not my money. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Like what happens when one day you get upset and you're like shit, man, that's not your money. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I know. Like,
Go watch the
all this
episode.
stuff.
Go watch the episode, bro.
You know what number it was?
Yo.
Hit me up. With it.
Well, I'll send you.
I
a
can
link.
send it to you. Yo, do you
Please
think
do,
you could
please
get
do.
us in touch with your boy, the guy that does it? I think it'd be interesting to get a male perspective on it.
I can certainly try, but it's like a friend's brother, so.
All right. Well, ask him if he wants to be famous and be on a show.
Does he have COVID?
I have no idea. What?
How's that relevant?
How am I supposed to know that?
I mean, it'd be dope if you could, but if not, clearly no biggie. He ain't like.
Oh yeah, I mean whatever. But it's like just as an idea to me, it's the coolest thing in the world, and I wish that I could do something like that. But like, I don't think that morally that like I could be okay with that, you know. And it's like to me, it's weird to like have that distinction where it's like, yeah, I'd fuck on camera, whatever. But then like when it's like, hey, I would do something someone is more willing to do, if like you know, because like they want that to happen. I'm like, I don't
Wait,
know.
but what do you think? What do you think about it is not like because you mentioned the word morally. What about that? Do you think it's not like moral or morally like good or bad? Or what about that?
Well, I think it lies on the side of bad moral just because of the norms that we have set up. You know what I mean? That's the only reason that it sits there. And since it does, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. I made a joke earlier about like, oh yeah, I'll just rob a bank. But like, I don't think that I could ever actually do that. You know, if you sat down and you think like, hey, could I do this? You're either going to plan a bank robbery or you're going to be like, no, like I don't think I could. And
But
for me,
bank-
it's but like obviously it's not the same level. But what I'm saying is like when you have something that in your head has been kind of like prescribed as wrong, you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of fetishes in general, like I have a lot, but like I also don't because I feel like I would just feel awkward doing it, even though I would probably not feel awkward doing it. I think.
Well, we live a long time, so you have more than enough time to run through all your fetishes.
That's true. Rob a bank when you're 60, when you're seasoned.
Yo, what if that was a fetish though? You found out, like you're in the bank, you're like, everyone on the ground, sploosh. Oh fuck.
Like this is my shit.
Yo, that's one of the things that always scared me about like serial killers that did it for like
For sex?
the sexual nature of it, because
Yeah.
it's like that's how you get off. You know, like listen, like I made a joke earlier about your Pornhub history, but it's like mine's probably a little shady. You know, it's probably like this is a bit weird, but it's never like watching someone get mutilated and then it's like, you know, like I don't like how. Like, even as creative as you can get mentally, do you think you could ever get that creative? Like I don't.
Don't yuck
know?
somebody's yum.
I don't even think that's all that creative. Like killing someone isn't very creative.
Killing someone to get off is different. Killing someone is killing someone.
True.
Killing someone and then perceiving that in your head and it being processed as something sexual is wild. Like
That
to me, like, you know, like whatever, like I don't want to say whatever. That's really fucked up. But like killing somebody is something that makes more sense because we do it in wartime and we've done it since the dawn of time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I imagine there are people that have gotten off killing people since the dawn of time, but it's not something that we've really discussed. And
But
like,
not
now that we
killing
know
nut.
that people do it, and like there's evidence and like there's shit like that, it's like, ugh, this is weird. Like how, you know? And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like norms determine what's okay. In our heads, something like that is really far down the line and is like way, way not okay. But to me, even something as simple as financial domination, it's a little bit too far on the not okay socially and would make me feel awkward and therefore I couldn't enjoy it, so I wouldn't do it.
You gotta listen to that episode, man. The way she kicks it, I'm agreeing with her. The more the
Yo,
way she kicks it, Matt, you're like, yo, okay, all right, I get it 100%.
She's
Yeah, that's
what's her name? The chocolate dom or
Chocolate
what's
Dom
her?
with 2 M's. Chocolate DOMME.
is that a OnlyFans account? What are we talking here?
No, that's her IG, but she hit our episode. So she was a guest on our episode before she went big. She went big by like she put 2 white guys on a leash and walked around a black campus during
Homecoming.
during homecoming, and she was in her dom outfit, and everybody made a big deal about. She knew what she was doing. She's very intelligent when it comes to like social
Marketing.
publicity. Yeah, marketing.
Yeah.
And, she blew the fuck up, bro. So she charges doms to be a part of her crew. She charges like one-time fee, 20. But there's so many women that want to dominate men or women. So many women that want to dominate in general that she has so many people come in that she's like making money off of this whole dominatrix thing.
That's awesome.
It's kind of academy for dominatrixes.
Yeah.
4.
Yo, so I've been watching a lot of RuPaul Drag Race with Kayla, and they have like houses, you know, where it's like these queens will come from certain houses and like come in and just be like, I'm from house of whatever. And then just like,
yeah.
and it's like, they will literally call them out and be like, you didn't show well for your house. Like, bye.
Some
Yeah,
Game of Thrones
That's
shit?
just wild, man. Like,
That's what I was
can't-
Game of
thinking.
Thrones shit.
Yo, like imagine she's like kind of like overwatching someone's conversation. And she's like, you didn't get nearly enough money from that man. Like, get the hell out of my crew.
You seen Paris is Burning, the documentary? It's a documentary about the ball scene in the 80s, and the ball scene is just like predominantly like gay and trans men like who are in these competitions called balls. And they would just like, there were a lot of them like fashion competitions, things of that nature. And that was like a huge subculture in New York. And then that's where the houses started. So you have like different houses. So you have like this guy named Willie Ninja. So you have the House of Ninja, and then you have the House of Extravaganza, and you have these different houses, and they're not like crews. They're kind of like, it just started off as like people who were associated with each other, because obviously in the 80s, if you were ostracized, particularly if you were like gay or trans.
Yeah, right.
So it started off like that, and then it turned into more like more of like a structured thing where they could all get together, like support system where they can make money, like shit like that. So, and I think it goes on to this day, but I don't like know the state of it. Like
there's a Netflix show on there's a Netflix show on Netflix. There's a show on Netflix called Hollywood, and in this show they kind of embrace it's supposed to be a reimagination of what would happen in Hollywood if this took precedent. But they dive into themes and features about like how gay how the gays are suppressing Hollywood, but mostly almost everybody in Hollywood is homosexual or trans, and it's like they have like full house parties weekly where they just invite boys from different colleges, different football teams, just for men to ogle their bodies and play in pools and suck each other off, all types of crazy shit, bro. And it's like,
I like how you said that quick. You know, you suck each other off. You said it too quick. That means that you've probably been sitting there, you know, you've been on that one for a while. Like, shit, man, I can't let them know I was thinking about it.
It was so interesting. I watched it in one sitting. It was such an interesting. No, I'm playing. But I did watch it in one sitting. But it was like, it makes you question like what is really happening in Hollywood or what is really happening with these actors and actresses.
Man, have you ever heard of Bryan Singer?
Was he a gay man?
Yeah, he was. So he directed or produced. I don't know what those words mean, but he did one of those to like all of the X-Men movies. There was like a bunch of other stuff, but like he was like into kids, you know, and like young boys, and like.
Oh no, I never heard about this guy. Never mind.
Well, I mean, there's also like, you know, like of age stuff that happened as well, but it's just when you look at just the nastiness of that, you know, it's like
Bryan Singer fucked boys.
Yo, look it up. Look it up. I
X-Men 1, 2, Last Stand. He fucked boys, bro.
Yeah, bro. He used to throw parties, and you know, sometimes they weren't always the oldest. But that's so many people in power, and that shit is so scary. Like, what is it about power that makes you be like, make them younger? Like,
it's funny. It's funny when I was powerful. No, I'm kidding. When
the hell were you powerful?
So I was reading something about that, and I was also listening to a podcast that also kind of addressed that, and it's like. People who have like deviant sort of like desires, right? They have a tendency. Well, what do you mean?
Editing this. I'm not editing this.
Where you go?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't edit it. Let them go. Take it away.
No. Like you don't need to edit it. I said what I said. Like deviant desires such as like pedophilia or. You know, just things that are just way off. It's like they have a tendency to find positions of authority and power, such as like the Catholic Church, like the issue there, or it's like it's not specific to any group. Like there's this huge theory where like, oh yeah, well everyone in Hollywood's a pedophile, and it's not necessarily the case. It's like these people find certain places where they have a certain amount of like respect and a certain amount of, you know, protection where they don't have to deal with the same consequences and they can do what they want, right? And on the other side is that when people tend to have power, there's like I forgot exactly what happens, but there's like a psychological thing that happens with people where it's like your inhibitions are released, right? So like things that you never got the opportunity to do. You'll do things that we may think about or anyone may think about like, nah, chill, I would never do that. They do it, right? And then if you're powerful enough to do it consistently, it's like it's not novel anymore. So you have to make things increasingly crazy. Like you have to make things increasingly more crazy.
Bro, what are you talking about? Everyone's got $20 to go down underneath a bridge and beat the shit out of a homeless person, all right? Everyone's got it.
All right, bro. All right, okay. So let's say you do that, but man, I don't feel like beating up homeless people. I want to beat up regular people. Like, no, it's just kind of like the pathology where it's like the more you could do, the more regular shit gets boring, and you just have to like feed into it. Like you have to feed into it, and that's very common with people who have, you know, inordinate power. Influence, things like that. That's something that's common. Not everyone who has power falls into that, but it's more common for people who do have that kind of power.
Matt, who do you think is the first person on the base?
Can't do it.
Matt,
who
do you think is the first person on the base to gain power and abuse it?
To gain power and abuse it? I would imagine Edwin.
I was abusing his power.
I would imagine.
That's why he listens to all these podcasts so he can know how to use it, how to use it.
He's got a good head, man. You gotta start by taking him down mentally.
You got
You gotta knock him down a couple pegs. Just remind him that you got a little spark in you too. You know what I mean?
He's the mentally sound one. He's the one that's gonna break first. $1 million. I'm gonna kill hookers.
Yo, this guy.
GTA.
Clown.
Like GTA.
At least now we know what you're ready to do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's like, I get power. Them fucking hookers are done for.
I don't think I'm gonna change if I get power.
Yeah,
I think he'll change the most. I think he'll change the most.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Anyone's material condition changes that drastically, you're going to change. You're either going to change, or whoever you are is going to be amplified. Like, I don't think anyone could predict what. Like, I would like to think that if I got $500 million right now, I'd be the same person, but I don't know that, and realistically, I probably wouldn't be. You know, so
yeah, but we're not talking about $500 million. We're talking about power.
Yeah,
we're talking about power.
Person. You're just going to be extremely powerful.
So you have the ability
like
to
Superman.
do more.
But no matter
of
how,
course that
no
comes
matter
with
how
money, but it's the
powerful
power.
a black person gets, nothing changes. So nothing's going to change about me.
You
still get killed in the street.
I got 2 syllables for you.
No, I mean,
Jay-Z.
I disagree with that, but
Jay-Z, boy.
Jay-Z what? Jay-Z's not that powerful.
I disagree.
What? Jay-Z has the ability to sway a lot of people's opinions because he is now a billionaire.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
He convinced Beyonce to go out with him.
To marry him?
Ugly. He ugly, son.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about specific Jay-Z, think about it, bro. He has music that is internationally distributed that's going to be listened to for however long in the future. He has his own streaming platform. That's a ridiculous amount of power, bro. That's an insane amount of like influence that you could do that. You know, sports leagues are willing to like partner with him. Like that's an example of someone who, I mean, I don't know him personally, but that's exactly of someone who could like exert a lot of power if they chose to do so, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
What do you do to get there? Is the question.
Who knows? We don't actually know.
You ready?
He said it in his songs,
Big
bro.
L got
He sold drugs.
Big L got murdered. That's the only reason. The only reason he got big is because Big L died. That's it. We all heard 98 freestyle. Nobody was impressed. True. Nobody. He said, what? You crazy.
I know exactly the line you're talking about, bro. The thing is, it's like in that freestyle, he was still rapping. He was still I said rapping. He was still rapping like it was
the rapping.
He was still rapping. No, he was still rapping like it was like the early 90s, late 80s, and Big L's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It was like just on another level.
And then like Big L just disappeared somehow.
He didn't disappear. He got murdered because he was mistaken for his brother.
Did he? Him and Tupac are together.
Ooh,
chilling.
Pretty sure.
Oh my god.
In Cuba.
Oh my god, bro.
Listen, I have no doubt
Elvis.
that Tupac could be alive. I also have no doubt that Big L is dead. You know what I mean? Like, not only was he becoming at that point an outspoken Negro voice, like very outspoken. Like, yo, when Don Corleone came out, he was just like Black Panther mode, 100%.
Don Corleone?
And it's like, what?
Don Corleone was Black Panther movement?
No. I'm talking about Big L when he released. I just said the wrong name. I'm out of my brain. But the one after when he released one after Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, he like literally started like walking around like Malcolm X, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I forgot what
you know, and it was like, I mean, something was bound to happen. You know, anytime a rapper back then got like too big, it was like somebody's got to knock him down a peg.
He was just so far ahead of his time that his parents haven't met yet. It's crazy.
That was
he chose
cute.
to be black. It was a choice.
He chose to be black.
It was a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly hope that you guys are staying safe down there because like that's something that I think about on a daily is I have no black friends up here. I have like literally 2 black friends I talk to up here. And that's not even a joke. I mean 2 people. Whereas in the city it's like
you have your headset.
Almost everyone that I know. You know what I mean? So like up here I don't feel worried for anyone, you know, because it's like you're two people, you're nerds, and you stay home. You know, like I'm not really worried. Whereas like all my friends in the city, like I'm thinking about you guys all the time because it's like you're running around in an actual, you know, like wild, chaotic zone. You know, on the
The
daily.
concrete jungle, baby.
Matt, we don't go outside, bro. Nobody in this chat goes outside. Even me.
Like for real?
Yeah, we don't go nowhere.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Like, I'll walk to my office, like which is like sort of downtown, to like handle some stuff. And I'll do shopping and I'll walk around the neighborhood. But I'm not visiting anyone in particular. I visited like one person this whole time.
Man, I still have like people over for dinner and shit. Like I couldn't do that.
Yeah. People are banned. People are definitely banned from coming over here for dinner. Fuck out of here.
Man, this podcast is all we got.
Really?
2021. We're opening back up the base shop, the base home base. 2021
with new
January.
meals and everything, son.
Yo, bro, we've been fucking holy shit. We've been upgrading out. Like we were already beast in the kitchen. Now it's another. Now it's ridiculous, bro. Like it's like. DK's making his own bone broth. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, everyone's done.
Yo, I've been making my own tallow lately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what's up. It takes like 8 hours, like 9 hours of just rendering beef fat and just let it keep going and keep going. But it's so worth it because in the end, I make the most bomb gravies you can imagine, bro. Like, I'm gonna be throwing that in everything. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, anything in particular y'all want to finish up on?
Yeah.
You got a poem,
Matt?
One? Yo, do some poem from the poets corner. For the artist corner. Do some music.
What?
Yeah, do some music to close us up.
I'll tell you this right now, and I've told many people this. Nobody gets nothing for free. All right? When it comes to art, nobody gets nothing for free.
How much do you want me to cash out? How much do you want me to cash out you the new post? It's gonna be late because of your service.
No, I'm playing. I'm just playing, bro. So I will be actually playing next Sunday. I mean, check that out. June whatever.
On Zoom?
No, I'm gonna do it on YouTube Live. I didn't even know that existed until the other day.
Send us the link.
Yeah, we'll promote it. We'll
definitely. Like as I said, it's something that started out. I just kind of wanted to showcase myself vocally a little bit more, but now with everything that's happening, like, you know, I really am trying to open people up to more black artists than they're used to. You know, like everyone's heard Beyonce. I'm not playing a Beyonce song, you know, but not everyone likes dance hall, you know, but it's like you should because it's some good shit. So let's check it out together. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Right. So we could use the artist corner to promote Matt's event coming up, and then when you what time? What day is it? Are you performing?
I don't know what is next Sunday's date.
Next Sunday,
14th.
Okay, so is it night or day?
So it'll be 14th, and I imagine 2 p.m. 14th at 2 p.m.
Okay, so we'll drop the episode prior to you. Well, DK, are we dropping Matt's episode?
I mean, honestly,
I was gonna do it midweek, but I mean,
that
could do it on.
If we
that works. That works.
I can promote more.
Yeah, we could do it midweek, and then we'll just keep promoting. We'll promote it, you know, and I guess Sunday we'll just post a link to his shit.
Okay, so
you know, it's wild because I have a fair amount of people that are like already, you know, into it, and I haven't played out in almost a decade, and I understand this isn't playing out, but like the nerves, dude, you know, like is weird for me as such like, and yeah, sometimes it's pseudo, but like as a confident, cocky person to literally be like, I'm nervous, you know.
Imagine
like,
how women.
I don't know that it's gonna be perfect, and I need to know it's gonna be perfect, you know, like. It's crazy.
Hey, man, try to reframe it. Turn the nerves into excitement. Just view it as excitement, man.
Oh, it's both. It's literally both. It's
just know I'll be watching.
I'm not used to being that nervous. You know, I'm literally not used to being like, fuck, this might not go well.
Hey, man, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because once you get through it.
Just know I'll be watching, and I basically raised you, so you're in a lot of pressure.
Can I tell you something? You legit look like a 1970s basketball player, and you need to just get a headband on, put on some short shorts, make it happen. Make it happen.
Oh,
world
shit.
World be free. World is free. All right, get on.
World be free.
Matt, you look like
Said you look like Moses Malone. Come on.
That's awesome.
Bernard King.
Jose, help me out here. What's the actor from Inception?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, the guy, the cooler guy.
Michael Caine.
No, you don't like fucking Michael Caine. He's in Inception. He's in he played
He's in
Venom.
Batman.
He played Venom.
Oh, Venom. Oh man, he don't look like that motherfucker. I know who you're
Matt
talking
doesn't
about.
look like him?
No, bro, Matt doesn't look white.
Nah.
Dude, I got a lot of.
What's his name from Venom,
on
bro?
my face
He
right
looks
now. That's
he
the
looks
only reason I'm
like
looking so
he looks
great.
like the someone at the bodega.
No.
Yo, you want to see something wild? Watch this, man. Look at all this. This is so much of it. I'm so stoked.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There we go. No, you don't look like
Yo,
Tom
you want to
Hardy.
see something? Yo, you want to see something interesting? Type in Tom Hardy Bronson Dick.
I almost
And that's
said
something
no,
interesting.
No, I'm not typing
Which
I'm not
website?
typing that.
Which?
I mean, any of them, because I gotta tell you right now,
Do
it
it in
is
incognito
very
mode.
awkward. It is awkward. You know,
I
you
almost
get a
typed it
shot
in
of it,
too.
and you're like, I
Don't
didn't.
fucking type
Did I
that.
want to see that? Did I
Do it
wanna
in
see-
incognito mode.
Don't do it in incognito mode. Let people know that you looked at it.
This looks like Matt.
That don't look like me. That man is much prettier than me.
Mm.
He's also much smaller than me.
Cause yeah.
That was
Yo,
nice. I had nothing.
close this up, Fab. Finish this off.
All right, yo. So, yo, Ebo, you good?
I'm good, sir.
As long as you
I'm
have
sending you guys something right now.
Matt, I was so excited to see you, bro. This was everything for me. It's always a pleasure. We've had COVID Chronicles since COVID Chronicles began. Now it's Protest Chronicles and it's fucking Lockdown Chronicles, but it's the base, and we're always your initials. Somehow, some way, we get into the streets.